Hola, amigos. Brad Evans here. It's time once again to bring the noise. Ask me anything here in the next several minutes. I know it's Christmas Eve. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Hopefully, you're gathering around the tree tomorrow and celebrating in spectacular fashion. Maybe got an eggnog already in hand. Why the hell not? A, it's a weekend. B, it's a holiday weekend. And C, we got a full slate of Sunday games on tap. And I am here for the next several minutes to answer your pressing fantasy questions because we don't stop. We don't quit. You got your fantasy football championship berth on the line. And I got opinions to try to help you out and navigate some of those choppy waters that are out there. So I'm going to be here for the next several minutes answering your questions. Hey, you want to get a hold of me? Check this out. There are now 4 different ways to do it via Facebook at Yahoo Noise, on Twitch at Big Noise 78, on the YouTube channel, Fade the Noise, and on the X, where all of a sudden I'm now giving it to you at Noisy Huevos. Allegedly, I pulled up the StreamYard software and it said, hey, this just in. And we can now filter in questions and comments from the X like the old school days of this software. So hopefully that is accurate and true. If it is, it should show up in the comment section. All I got to do is smash the return button, highlight it. I can see your beautiful avatar and your question and answer it. So fingers crossed, that is the real deal Holyfield. And that is indeed available there. So those are the 4 different ways to get a hold of me here on this broadcast because you got needs and I am a man of the people and I am here to supply my opinion. Fade or follow, as I always say, that is entirely up to you. All right, so with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get in on some of my favorite player props on the top 3 countdown on this NFL Week 16. And numero trace for me is Joe Flacco Seagulls. I think he's going to fly high. Give me the over 1.5 passing touchdowns in H-Town. Taking on the Texans at plus 126. Best odds in business right now at FanDuel Sportsbook. The reason being is this. Joe Flacco, even though he's got some gray peppered there in the goatee, in the beard, is really doing backstrokes right now in the Fountain of Youth. A guy who's averaging 44.3 pass attempts over the last 3 games. And during that stretch, he's gone 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, and 2 touchdowns. So really has been a king of consistency, and I can already hear it. But sample size, Evan, sample size. I mean, 3 games is a decent number. And I think he get at least a pair of airstrikes today against Houston. Why? You look at the Texans, number 20 in pass EPA defense on the season. Not only that, too, but they have got about 3 multi-TD passers since week 9. Now, he's not going to probably bully away in terms of the overall yardage. It's going to be around 250 to 260, in my opinion. But when you got Amari Cooper, when you are feeding David Njoku, and he's doing a lot of those in-zone stomps as a result of it, check it out in Jerome Ford and get some chunk gains here and there. You know, he spread the love. Elijah Moore's been involved and doing a magnificent job. And the reason why the Browns are trending maybe to a playoff berth in a monstrous matchup down there in Houston. I think Flacco shows up. Maybe they win. I got to lean that they do score the dub on the money line. I know it's at minus 2.5 last I checked on the spread, but I think Flacco's going to do it through the air. Give me the over 1.5 passing touchdowns against the Texans plus 126 at FanDuel Sportsbook. Numero dos here on the countdown of player props. Courtland Sutton. Give me him for an anytime touchdown against the New England Patriots. And you look at the juice there. Oh, yeah, I'll work the shoulders and get seduced by that juice at plus 175 at ESPN Bet. I was a bit shocked that number was this high. It really shouldn't be plus money. By comparison, to look at BetMGM, this prop is like minus 150. So extraordinary value right now at the Mouse House and their wagering platform in this matchup tonight under the primetime lights. Santa's going to be traveling there, delivering all the little girls and boys presents, and hopefully he's going to leave one under the tree for me, and I'm going to pull the ribbon, open it up. There's money because I backed Courtland Sutton on this anytime touchdown prop. He has been a touchdown scoring machine. Chris Carter, all he does is score touchdowns. He has done this, I believe, in 10 of his last 12 games. He is top 10 easily in total red zone targets. And you look at New England, the true weakness for them is not only in the slot, but really outside as well. Just throwing against them, you can have all kinds of success. Now, originally, there was going to be some of that white stuff falling. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. No, hit pause on that because the storm system is going to be moving out of the greater Mile High City sometime early this afternoon, which means no snow. It's going to be chilly. Temp seasonal, about 33 degrees. At kickoff, you might see some white stuff on the sidelines, but it's not going to be impactful at all. But I do believe that Cortland Sutton, because Russell Wilson, if he's going to have any success, you can't run on New England. Number one in the NFL, whether you're looking at DVOA versus the run or the EPA data versus a run. It's not going to be a great game for Juggernaut Javonte on the ground by any stretch of the imagination. That is going to force Russell Wilson airborne, and I think he's going to connect once again with Cortland Sutton on an anytime touchdown plus 175 at ESPN Bet. Numero uno here on the abbreviated countdown of player props that I like on this NFL Sunday. JJ is going to be dynamite. Yeah, Justin Jefferson, give me the over. And we've seen some fluctuation on this line. Opened at 77.5, got as high as I saw it at 83.5. It started to trickle back to the original number right there, landing in the middle at 81.5. Best odds right now, minus 110. At BetMGM. I love Justin Jefferson today. Hit a game with a lot of pew shootout appeal. Taking on the Detroit Lions. They're in the Creature Comforts in Minneapolis inside the Dome. You look at Jefferson, 9.3 targets per game, 10.7 dot, 10.3 yards per target, number 4 in yards per route run. When he's been on the field the last 7 times, he has gone over this number 5 games, and I think it's going to be more the case today. Why? Wait, look at Detroit, number 23 in pass EPA defense. They've been a little bit forgiving, rolling out the red carpet for the opposition through the air. And specifically, Cameron Sutton is going to be his primary projected assignment, who's allowed a 60.6 catch percentage and 102.2 passer rating to his assignment. So 5 guys at the wide receiver position have gone over this number. Make it a 6-pack. Pop the top, chug, all day long on Justin Jefferson over 81.5 receiving yards. My top play of NFL week number 16 on the Sunday slate. Dare I say, Daddy want, Daddy need, Daddy gotta have it. And people are saying, you're saying the L word, Evans. You're implying that L word. Look, there are no guarantees in betting. Locks do not exist, folks. I am what you call an infotainer, and I'm just a dude like you or dudette that bets. It really doesn't matter, all right? Just stay in your lane, man. You're a professional gambler. Congratulations. Be that person. I don't care. I'm not going to offend you, but don't get into my lane when I am merely trying to inform and offer an opinion, and there might be an inflated, not gavel, but sledgehammer done in the process. It's called showmanship. Don't know what that means? Look the damn word up. All right, submit your questions to me right now via several different apparatuses on the Facebook at Yahoo Noise, on Twitch at Big Noise 78, on YouTube, and hopefully you're subscribing to that channel. I will have a fresh Fade 5 podcast just for the Monday, the Christmas Day 3-pack of games, a little bit later today. Available on YouTube or wherever you're downloading your podcast. And now on the X, we're indeed, I'm hoping to give it to you, baby, at Noisy Huevos. Finally, Elon tore that stupid wall down. All right, let's go ahead and get to some of your questions. And, man, they're coming in fast and furious. I wasn't really sure what kind of audience I would have today. That's why I was like, I'll just throw this out there. We'll see what sticks. We'll see who shows up. But the numbers are spectacular because you got needs, and a lot of you are nervous Nancy's that are out there, and understandably so, because you got championship aspirations on the line. Batting leadoff, Ken Hurst says, hola, Brad. Hola to you. Ty Chandler or Devontae Smith in my flex. Full point PPR. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Hopefully it's going to be a holly jolly one. Ken, this is a tough one because I think Ty Chandler is going to be the volume king in that backfield, even with Alexander Madison back, in uniform. Probably going to be like a 65-35 split approximately, favoring Chandler. Usually I side with the running back in these situations, especially given the matchup against Detroit, which has had their problems really everywhere defensively. But it's kind of hard to ignore Devontae Smith and his matchup against the Giants. What Giants defense is going to show up? Or are they going to show out? They have been middling at best. They have shown some improvement, but Devontae Smith, the Slim Reaper, obviously always carrying that scythe, can plunge you in the back and cut you up. I think he has a more upside potential than Ty Chandler. Maybe a safer floor with Chandler because the guaranteed touches that I feel, again, is going to be about 65% of the overall workload there in Minnesota. But I got Devontae Smith there by a nose. Peter says, let's get some. Yeah, let's get some winners. I'm down this week. I think I'm down about 4 units. Wasn't the greatest day yesterday. The Bills flirting with disaster. I could not believe that. I was a bit shocking. College basketball been a bit of a roller coaster ride as well. Not the greatest week for me, but we're still positive territory in both sports on this season. And am I always free, always transparent picks? You can track them because those are my real plays. That's how I track them in that Google spreadsheet. I'm not fibbing anything. And you see the results there. Sometimes good and sometimes it's very, very bad. See college basketball earlier this week. Thanks, Peter. Jesse says, Merry Christmas, Brad. Merry Christmas to you. First league, Packers or Bears? I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears, whose defense is making some strides here of late, especially defending the pass. They really bottle up the run, and they're getting at the quarterback frequently. Kyler Murray is prone to mistakes. In the second league, Bears or Browns? Again, I'm going to double down. Bear down, Chicago Bears. Yeah, look, I'm a Bears fan. I cannot believe the Bears have glimmer of hope of making the playoffs. I think there is going to be a lot of people there at Soldier Field. It's an unseasonably warm day, little misty, little foggy in Chicago. But I think the Bears are going to be advantageous. I give them the advantage over the Packers against Carolina. Corey says, hola, and happy holidays. Happy holidays to you, Corey. Need upside, flex PPR, DK Metcalf or Walker. It's DK Metcalf. You're looking for the upside. A great matchup against Tennessee. We know how beatable that secondary can be. And DK, of course, can catch one on a post route and take it to the house for a long touchdown. So significantly more upside compared to Walker. And then Denver, Chicago, or Indy. Now, I do like the Bears. Indy probably going to be third on that list. But I got to side with the Broncos. I know the susceptibilities. I know the vulnerabilities, the weaknesses of this Denver defense, but it's New England. Do we really trust that Bailey Zappi can go out there and twirl like another 250 and 3 touchdowns? I cannot trust that. Again, with what is going to be a raucous audience backing them, I think the Broncos are going to show up and show out. And again, put those gifts under the tree for you, my friend, on this Christmas Eve. So give me Denver there by a nose. Bosch says play Herbert, Khalil Herbert, with Deonta Foreman out. I don't know what your other options are, bro. I think he's middling. I honestly prefer, I should say, I would prepare Rashawn Johnson to start ahead of Khalil Herbert if given the opportunity. But I got to know more details here. I think Khalil Herbert is more a flex option in a 12-team league than a surefire RB2 with Foreman out because Rashawn is going to be ever present. And the one that's really omnipresent on the ground is, of course, Justin Fields. Jay-Z Alter says, sit one, Tony Pollard, Jonathan Taylor. Hell no, I'm not going to sit Jonathan Taylor with Zach Moss out. He could have like 25 touches in this game. Or Devon Achane. It's probably Achane for me because, again, Mostert supplants him in goal line situations. If he's got to score a TD, it's going to have to be on the explosive variety. That's the ceiling with Achane because he's got those jets for wheels. But Tony Pollard, is probably going to be locked in at 15 to 20 touches against Miami. A lot of those could come through the air. If the script goes awry, goes negative for Dallas, I like Pollard just a little bit more than Achane overall, though Miami's been pretty effective against the run. Bottling up running backs in their own right this year. Tom says Swift or Walker. Give me DeAndre Swift. Jay Red says, hola, amigo. Hola to you. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to my family as well. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm an Eagles fan, but should I start their horrible defense or the Ravens defense? Eagles. Yeah, I got to go with the Eagles because, look, they're still top 12 in pocket pressure percentage. As you know, I've discussed on some shows this week tied to Tommy DeVito and his rushing yards prop that is out there. It's still Tommy DeVito. Now, DeVito is not making any mistakes, but he has been swarmed under repeatedly. This could be kind of a get right spot for Philadelphia defensively, maybe a 5, 6, 7 sack kind of game. Maybe DeVito does get stripped and it's a fat man touchdown in the end. Ho, 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 and they deliver your present. I think there's just more potential on upside with Philadelphia. So I'm going to roll with the Eagles, your Eagles, and fly, Eagles, fly. Bucks in 6 for life. Hey, buddy, happy holidays to you and yours. Same to you, Chandler or Josh Jacobs if he plays. It's Jacobs. And the reason being is this. The area where you can really beat and slap around Kansas City is on the ground. As you look at the Chiefs, they're number 31 this season in rush EPA defense. Now, that also leans into, can Vegas hang in this game so Jacobs can get the needed touches to be competitive, to put up some buku fantasy points? Well, here's the good news. He still catches the ball routinely out of the backfield. They still have continuity there with Aiden O'Connell under center. I think there is more safety and security with a Josh Jacobs and Chandler, who, again, I believe is going to get 65% of the opportunity share, but that ain't guaranteed. I'm not on the coaching staff. That's just my opinion and what I am fearlessly forecasting. So give me Jacobs. Juicy Queen, nervous. See, I'm telling you, a lot of nervous Nellies out there. Kyle Pitts, Schultz, or Kraft. I can't trust Pitts, even with Taylor Heineke now at the controls. Dalton Schultz is interesting, but I think Tucker Kraft may have the more upside. The Carolina secondary is getting healthier. So Horn is back. They're on the perimeter. So maybe if Jaden Reed were in uniform, I would say maybe a lower output for him. I saw that Wicks is going to play, which is good news. I think Kraft over the middle of the field is going to be a busy man. This could be a 4 or 5 catch kind of game. And you look at Jordan Love, he was zeroing in on him inside the red zone, scored a touchdown last week. Maybe you get a repeat of that. So for me, the player with the most upside, Tucker Kraft. Unbelievably. Never would have thought that, back in August, but here we are, week 16 of the NFL season. Good luck to you, Gypsy. Elsewhere, Robert says, Merry Christmas, you jackwagon. Yeah, that's right. Same to you. Flex, Isaiah Pacheco or Devon Achane. Again, you want safety? It's with Pacheco, who is going to punish the Raiders, who've not been that great against the run. They're improving under Antonio Pierce. They're now number, I think, 15 in rush EPA defense on the season. But look at Pacheco. This should be a 15 to 17 carry get a game. Maybe get a couple of receptions as well, and it could really do some damage. Let me give you some more data because I got it written down here. I actually like the over on his rush yards prop at 63.5. 10 guys have done this against Vegas this season. They're giving up 4.29 yards per carry and 104 flat rush yards per game to the running back position. Pacheco top 30 and yak per attempt. Decent missed tackle rate of 18.2%. He's actually been over 63.5 rush yards 5 times this year. He only went 15 for a double nickel on the ground in the first matchup in week 12. They're at home, though, on Christmas Day. I think he is going to do a little bit better. And again, I just, maybe he finds the end zone. I think there's a higher chance of that compared to Achane. If you're chasing ceiling, Achane's a guy. If you want kind of a stable floor, you got to go Pacheco. My vote's going to be Isaiah Pacheco, a guy who I absolutely love. Donald says, does Gibbs get over 50 rushing today? X, give it to me, Playboy. Man, that's going to be close, going to be tight. Minnesota is top 12 in rush EPAD on the year. And of course, you got a split backfield situation there with mandatory Montgomery. It's going to be close. You're going to be taking one of these, probably beating up, sweating this thing out in the fourth quarter. Sure. I mean, if I had a lean, it'd be over 50 because of the explosivity he has in the wheels and what he possesses, but I don't feel great about it. Good luck to you, Donald. Evan says, need deep wide receiver 3 PPR. Noah Brown, hate the matchup, or Alec Pierce, hate the player. I don't like the matchup either necessarily for Alec Pierce individually. I'm going to go with Noah Brown. Bury that hatred. It's the holiday season for crying out loud. Peter says, Ken Walker the third or Rashad White. Rashad White, man. He has been a touchdown scoring machine. Opportunity share is sky high at 74.9%. He scored a TD in 6 of his last 7 games. He can put you on the ground and through the air because he's a converted wide receiver from college. You look at Jacksonville, they're number 19 now in rush EPA defense. They've given up 4 touchdowns to running backs in the last 3 games and 4.20 yards per carry of the running back position in the last 5. I love Rashad White today. Jay Rios, Rashawn Johnson, or I'm assuming that's Juggernaut Javonte Williams. It's Rashawn Johnson over Javonte Williams. Again, you can't freaking run on New England. You got to drug those guys, having a kind of shot against them. They do a tremendous job stuffing the run. Evans has picked 3 starters in a PPR. Hawkinson in, Laporta in. Comes down to Javonte, Singletary, Chandler. Give me Devin Singletary, who I just wagered on. Check the spreadsheet there at Noisy Wave if you want to know what that action is. Aubrey says, hola, hola to you. A half-point PPR sit 1. Zeke, JT, and Mostert. It's probably going to be Zeke. I can't sit Jonathan Taylor. Could be a 20 to 25 touch kind of game with him with Zach Moss out. Period, end of story. And it's a pretty damn good matchup as well, taking on the ATL. And Mostert is a touchdown scoring machine. You saw what happened to Dallas. They were shish kebabbed last week by James Cook. So it's JT, it's Mostert, but again, lucky 7 situation, kind of like all these guys. Jim says, I feel like, so we wait for Jacobs on Monday. I have Zamir. Okay, got the crutch. Or you go JSN or Odell. Well, you also have a crutch in Odell on Monday, which is good news. So I would wait this out. Yes. And if Zamir gets a start, I guess you could plug him in. Again, great matchup there on paper, but debated between him and Odell because I think Odell could have himself a nice game. Look at San Francisco. They are inside the top 10 and most wide receivers receptions allowed this season. Peter says one more. Do I go all out Huevos and start Baker, or do I stick with Lamar? Still go Lamar. And I will say this, if Lamar shows up and shows out, and I think he's going to, I think the MVP market is going to flip. Brock Purdy at BetMGM earlier this week was at minus 200 odds. Lamar was second in line at plus 500. If the Ravens can go in and not really even shock the world, but just play exceptional football, I think you're going to see Lamar in the betting market be the clear-cut MVP for honor, and really he should be because he does not have the plethora of weapons around him like Brock Purdy does. So go Lamar. Hockey Nut says, hola, amigo. Hola. Need one. Baker, T-Law, Jordan Love, or Kyler. Give me Baker, the touchdown maker. Also full PPR, need one. Achan, Bijan, Jacobs, or Aaron Jones. Already playing a Mostert. I am not going to go with Bijan because I don't trust Arthur Smith. Aaron Jones is fascinating. You know, I'm going to go Aaron Jones by news. I think he's going to be a busy man on the ground and through the air. Yeah, see him with A.J. Dillon back, but A.J. Dillon can, deal with that broken digit. I think Jones got to dominate at least the routes run at the running back position and maybe punch one against the lowest rated EPA run defense in Carolina on the season. It hurts so good. Come on, Jalen, make it hurt so good. Flacco or Fields. Believe it or not, Justin Fields. Sorry, Mellencamp fans. But, Jalen Hurts going to be fine. Going to have a top 10 week. Flacco, I think, is going to spend a couple of touchdowns. But, you're mitigated by the rushing potential compared to the other 2 quarterbacks. Fields could have himself a day. And a very odd afternoon kick in Chicago. It's Arizona, and yeah, the weather is actually quite nice. It's shocking. I went out in shorts walking my dog on Christmas Eve in downstate Illinois. Who would have thunk it? John says, morning, Brad. I need one at a PPR at McLaurin. Cooks or Wicks? I like Wicks quite a bit. I've been waiting on pins and needles for his receptions prop to surface some of the books. FanDuel lit open at like 4.5, which is crazy. And the receiving yards at 53.5. So the odds makers are very aggressive on him and should be for good reason. I know Carolina's getting healthy in that secondary, but I think the volume is going to be there. And I think the upside far more tremendous compared to Cooks and McLaurin today. Chris says Mostert or Derrick Henry. I'm going to go with Mr. Mustard. Slight edge over Henry. I think you can't really lose either way with those guys. Feliz Navidad. Da, 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 da. Feliz Navidad. Yeah, Feliz Navidad to you, Clint. Not Felix Navidad, although, I know a lot of good sports playing Felixes over the years and been rather fond of them. C. Hernandez. Chuba, Singletary, or Zeke. Chuba Hubbard for me. Hubbard, baby. He's got 22 rush attempts in 3 straight games. And you look at Green Bay, that is a team that is not defending the run particularly well. Don't believe me? Here is the numeric evidence. You look it up yourself. Number 20 in rush EPA defense. In the last 5 weeks, Green Bay giving up 4.83 yards per carry, 104.4 rush yards per game just to the running back position. Tremendous, sensational, superb, scintillating, disrobe kind of matchup for Chuba Hubbard. That's the direction I'm going. Mark says, Ola Amiga, Ola to you. Standard, I know. Yeah, I hate standard leagues. Protest to your commissioner this offseason and say, listen, I'm going to bail on this league unless we include some kind of reward for reception. Let's advance in the 21st century. Pull your knuckles up off the ground. Sutton, Reed, EK, or Evans. Oh, man. I am locked and loaded on a Cortland Sutton anytime touchdown prop. I love him today. Reed, we'll see. Evans, God, tremendous matchup there. I think DK Metcalf has the highest ceiling with Geno back of any of them. So that is going to be my vote. But again, you got spectacular options. That's why you're still alive in your fantasy playoffs. Only Sutton says, Ola amigo, Ola to you. On tilt and 8 points in a RB2 position, Chandler Walker. Again, if you're looking to hit the home run, you need points. You need a Denver Broncos-like performance at your running back position for your running back. It's Chan. He's got the highest ceiling. Go for it. Sledgehammer week, brother. Daddy what? Daddy need. Daddy gotta have it. Again, no locks or guarantees on anything with that. People don't understand. It's a bit. But I do wield the sledgehammer. I've been doing it for years. Jets or Cleveland? Give me C-Town. I'm going to go with the Browns. Slight advantage there. Maybe they get a pick six. It's always kind of tough with some of those defensive picks. But yeah, slight lean. Trust in my gut there. Go with the Brownies. Hong Kong plus money. Hubbard over 17.5 rush attempts plus 100. Hey, man, I even took it up higher. I went to 18.5 at ESPN Bet this morning because you and I are very much in the same wavelength, Addison, and I got a plus 135. I couldn't believe it. They're going to be competitive. Carolina will in this game today against Green Bay Packers. They're at home. And, they're run heavy now with the new coaching staff. I mean, you're outlining right there. Robert has 25, 23, 22 the past 3 games. Yeah, 22 or more rush attempts in 3 straight. It's crazy. Yeah, 2 which were losses. Exactly. They're going to be competitive. I think he's going to crush that over. I'm with you there. Chris says Mike Evans or Calvin Ridley. Oh, both outstanding options. Slightly in Evans, but I think you're not going to be disappointed either way you go. Mark says duplicate. Sorry, meant to say pick sit 2. Oh, well, Reed's got to sit. Not exactly healthy. And the other I said, I guess, is Evans. Man, great options. Thomas says Casey or San Fran D, Lawrence or Baker. Give me Kansas City against Vegas because they know O'Connell's probably going to make mistakes there on the road. And Vegas has not played well, period, away from Sin City. And they give me Lawrence or Baker. He says, I'm going to go Baker Mayfield. I think it's another like 250 or so, 2 to 3 touchdowns. I wrote about it in the Fantasy Flames yesterday. I also wrote about Chase Brown, and that did not work out. ILL. That's right. Colin. I, amigo. Pick 3, point PPR, Jahmyr Gibbs, Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor, Isaiah Pacheco. Follow the volume. Jonathan Taylor all day. Brandon says, Ola, Merry Christmas. Same to you. Tucker Kraft, Logan Thomas, or Darren Waller. Tucker Kraft for me. John says, Javonte Williams or Khalil Herbert. Oh, God. I'll go with Juggernaut Javonte because I just don't know what the workload is going to be for Khalil. I don't think it's going to be that high. And it got, Justin Fields siphoning off red zone looks. Rashawn Johnson siphoning off red zone tugs as well. Yeah. Steven says Gibbs versus Swift versus Hall at PPR. Probably the highest ceiling is with Gibbs. And maybe the highest floor as well. Oh, you need 2. Oh, Swift. There you go. Done. GFGF in my notes says start Nick Mullins over Lamar. Yes, you're cray. Play Lamar Jackson. You can throw on San Francisco. I think it's going to be one of the higher pass attempt games of the year for Lamar. And I'll probably get another, 25, 30 at least on the ground. Derek says Texans or Cowboys, not the Cowboys. Give me Houston. Hola, amigo flex. Need 1. Lost a Pittman yesterday from Sean. Yeah, that sucked. Had to cancel a lot of my bets as a result of that. Kraft, have Wicks going in my other flex spot. Parker Washington, who's an interesting player. Pierce or Hill. Also have White. It's Kraft again for me. Kraft all day. A really good chance he might find the end zone. Brian says, aloha. Oh, miss and love Hawaii. Mahomey or Purdy? Patrick Mahomes. I think it's going to be another 260 or so and a couple of touchdowns, probably 15, 20 on the ground. Tommy says Zeke or Barkley for the flex and a PPR. Give me Zeke. Brandon says Aaron Jones or Kenneth Walker the third. Give me Aaron Jones. Bill says, hello, Brad. Hello to you. PPR, RBs are Pacheco, James Conner. Pacheco for me. I like the under on a lot of James Conner props because the Bears defense is straight up nasty. Nasty boys. Don't mean a thing. Yeah, they mean everything. Fair matchup against them. Also, PPR, wide receiver Addison. Curtis Samuel or OBJ. Give me Jordan Addison all day there. Wilson's pick 2 for me. London Addison. JSN, Noah Brown. Noah Brown's out. I'm going to go Addison, and I am going to go Drake London with a quarterback switch and a decent matchup there for London calling. Thomas says Nico, Dobbs, Wicks, Downs, PPR, happy holidays. Highest floor, tied, in my opinion, with Downs and Nico. Those are guys I go with. If you're chasing ceiling, maybe already behind by a significant amount, I go Mr. Wicks. But Downs is a guy I probably prefer out of the entire bunch. Roger says, Merry Xmas, Brad. Merry Xmas to you. Flacco or Mullins. I'm going to go Flacco for all the reasons I mentioned earlier. Johnny says, Ola to you. Superflex PPR, Flacco, Kyler Murray, or Ty Chandler. It's Kyler. I pick 2? QB pick 2. Okay, if I'm picking 2, it's Flacco for the other. Always go quarterback in those Superflex situations, especially they had delicious matchups, and both those guys really do. Mayer says Gibbs or Bijan. Yes, I don't trust anything about Arthur Smith. Peter says, Brad, when are we getting your big announcement? Hopefully sometime in the next few days. I can't say. There's legalities at place. Mum's the word until I find out more specific information. There's no guarantees anything until I sign on a dotted line. It'll take a little bit of time, but hopefully sometime in the new year. And I'm really, really excited about what is being built. I'll say that. Chris says Baker or Love. Baker, the touchdown maker. Terry says Pollard or Mostert. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you at a PPR, Terry. Give me Raheem Mostert or Mustard. Brad, what about mandatory Montgomery, you jackals? From Jeremy. His props were pretty low. I did bet, as I pretty much do every week, on anytime touchdown. I think he will splash 6. I think it's going to be around 65 to 75 total yards for him and a touchdown. The downside with Montgomery is, how does the game flow? Nobody knows. It could be a major deficit for Detroit and more Jahmyr Gibbs. As a result, that is a potential development. Is it going to be a positive game script for Detroit? Also potential development, which means more work for Montgomery. I don't know. I think he's a firm top 15 running back, whoever this week. Gypsy defense, Chicago Colts or Eagles. Again, I go Philadelphia because the sack potential there. Scott says Jets against the Commanders, Colts versus Atlanta or Denver D. Give me Denver. Roger says no sound. Oh no, I have no idea if I've been just talking to a mic with no sound this entire time. I got to go fast because these questions are just crazy and I'm way behind. Ridley or Adams. I am going to go with Calvin Ridley by nose. Jacobs or Montgomery. From Bill, give me mandatory Montgomery because of the iffiness of Jacobs. Morning, amigo. Morning, you, Anthony. 2 running backs at a flex. IU, Connor, Achane, Chandler, Taylor. Taylor is automatically in. I go Achane in the flex, and then I probably go with Ty Chandler, honestly, in the flex or the RB2 position. Merry Christmas from Ernesto. Merry Christmas to you. Breece Hall or Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor all day. Listen, folks, if you have Jonathan Taylor, you play Jonathan Taylor. Chris, Merry Christmas, bro. Merry Christmas to you. Ho, ho, ho. Hope all your bets hit. Thank you for being here for us. Besides the advice, I'm thoroughly entertained. Hey, great. I appreciate that. I'm just me being me. That's what I do, baby. Hey, I'm like Tommy DeVito. It's me being me. Make me some cutlets, Mom. Make my bed. Give me some of that Rayo sauce. Chug, chug, chug it. Rayo's is money. Big fan of that sauce, by the way. Bijan or Devontae Adams. I don't trust either. Half point PPR. I don't trust Bijan as much. So give me Devontae Adams, Achane or Chandler. Chandler by a hair. Alex says PPR pick 2. Jonathan Taylor in my lineup. Aaron Jones also in my lineup. We got to fade any running back against the Bears. Also defense, Texans or Bears. Give me the Bears. Bear down, Chicago Bears. I like it. I like it. I gotta watch Christmas Vacation Watch Home Alone yesterday. Christmas Vacation it really is a gift that keeps on giving. Big fan of that. Benzismo, Broncos T versus New England, or Colts T versus Atlanta. Give me the Broncos. Hola, Brad from Brian. Hola to you, Cooper or Adams. Slight lean Amari Cooper. Oh, yeah, I can stack him with him and Flacco. Do it. Feliz Navidad. Peter says, Merry Christmas. Thanks for all the picks, advice you've given us, including me. Now, sometimes it hits, other times it doesn't. I just show my hand. And again, those are all my actual plays. I'm putting my money on each of those, my hard-earned cash. So, you ride the ups and we ride the downs. I mean, it's just how it goes. Your energy is phenomenal. Well, thank you, Brad. I appreciate it. From one Brad to another. Merry Christmas. Keep up the good work. You will bounce back. I'm trying. Need a tight end and a flex out of Hawkinson. McBride. Oh, McBride has to be my lineup today. He may have like 15 targets in this game. Zeke or Chandler. So McBride is my tight end. Man, I like Hawk too. I'm going double tight end. I honestly think there were safer floors of both those guys, and I love Zeke and Chandler today, but give me Hawkinson and McBride. Hawkinson revenge game. Oh yeah, it's a dish best served cold. Merry Christmas to Filthy Anime. Merry Christmas to you too. Wicks or Myers? Wicks for me. Johnny says Ty Chandler over 8chan in a PPR. I go Ty Chandler barely. Brad says had Joe Mixon for 45. In a parlay yesterday, everything covered except Mixon. He had 43. Damn you, gambling gods. I had a terrible first game betting yesterday. I think I broke even in the late game. Yesterday just sucked. This week has not been great. That's betting. It's gambling. And in a separate league, Wicks or Madison. Oh, it's Wicks. 10,000%. Aubrey says second league need 2 out of 3 or just 2. Out of Pollard, Henry Jones. It's Henry and Jones. Thank you to Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well, Aubrey. Bill says Curtis Samuel. Great. Yeah, he's a football. You must be a big fan. Mahomes or Purdy. Give me Patty Mahomes. I'll probably save a floor there, like 262 touchdowns and about 20 rushing. That's what I said earlier. Piero says Hopkins or James Conner on a flex 10 team league. Fade Conner against the Bears. Give me Hop. Gypsy Queen, Chandler or Jackson Smith. Give me Chandler. Shane says, Ola, half-point PPR pick 2. Thielen, Wicks, Roshan. Give me Wicks and Roshan. I don't feel great about that. Alec Pierce or Brandon Cooks. Give me Cooks. The volume may be there, but it's not a great mano-a-mano matchup for Alec Pierce. Lyrically outspoken says Chandler, Jonathan Taylor, and Javonte Adams. E2. Taylor, bar none. Adams, bar none as well. Volume is king in fantasy. Repeat question, forgot to add. Half-point PPR. Apologies and Merry Christmas in RB2. Achane or Walker. I'm starting Mostert. Will then diversify the portfolio in the Bonjo. Go Kenneth Walker third. So when this decision, Achane or Chandler. Again, if you're chasing ceiling, you're behind, go Achane. If you want to save floor, get like 10 to 12 points, go with Tyson Chandler. Cowardly way out, but that's what I believe. ETN or Dylan. Oh, come on, ETN. Dylan's got that broken digit. I really don't know how much he's going to play. Jordan Love or Gino. I owe you Coquito next year. Give me Gino Smith. A little bit higher upside there. Jesse says, Hola, Brad. Hola to you. 4 points past TD. Baker or Flacco. Baker by a news. Oh, wait a minute. Fields. Mullen. Oh, my God. You're playing Justin Fields. This could be like one of those 2 to 4 touchdown kind of games and a variety of scoring. He may even hit extra points today against Arizona. Hola, Brad from Roger. Hola to you. Flex need 1. Aaron Jones, Pacheco, Connor, or Chandler. I am going to go with Isaiah Pacheco. John says, I'm 20 today. It's my birthday. Happy birthday, John. It's Christmas Eve. That's awesome. That's a double celebration. Caitlin says, hey, Brad, please help Purdy or Mahomes. Give me Mahomes. Matt says, pick 2. Chandler, Smith, Cooper. Give me Cooper and Ty Chandler. John, I know you're still 20. You haven't aged. It's amazing, the things that you've done. Reed ruled out. Thank you, Sean. Again, I'm not seeing any of the news because I'm talking to you guys. So that's great news for Wicks. Joe says Samuel or Adams. Give me Adams. Danny says, thank you, brother, and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Danny. Uno mas. Any defensive players you would sledgehammer today? Julian Love. I think I took the over on tackles and assists. That was it. I usually don't bet IDP props, to be honest, but that was one guy I liked. Pack minus 3.5 is a lock, right? Hey, man, the L word, they don't exist. Now, I'll feel great about it. Kind of like Carolina. That hook, yar, Captain Hook. could come into play here. K-Tel 21 Flacco or Mullins. Flacco for me. Will says, please pick 3 out of London. Addison is in. JSN, Noah Brown, Gibbs is in. So Addison, Gibbs, and I'm going to go JSN, a slight nod over Drake London. Justin says Kelsey or Ridley, 1 point PPR. Going Kelsey. Addison, happiest holidays to you and yours. Thank you. Enjoy all of your content with doubly thank you. OG from the Yahoo years. Yes, I've been around for 20 freaking years. You see the bags are getting lower and droopier by the day. Yeah, I had the Arian Foster sleeper hype back in the day. I think I was the only dude that was on Arian Foster that year. And I just watched tape and I'm like, man, that guy's got an exceptional vision. He's got to be something. And in a one-go scheme in Houston, zone blocking or Kubiak, hell yeah, it was. Flacco Ramon's already answered that. And Denver or the Bears? I'm going to go Denver, slight nod. Jay says half point PPR, pick 2. DJ Moore, Rice Bijan. I'm going to go with both wide receivers. Happy holidays to you. Thank you, Jay. Brandon says one more, Walker or Downs. Give me Walker. Brad says standard league. God, standard leagues. Who's going to score a touchdown? I'm going to go Aaron Jones, and I'm going to go, or McBride. Give me McBride over both running backs. Bears or Jets. Give me the Bears. Thomas says Kmet or Goddard. Give me Cole Kmet. T-Law or Purdy from the Invisible Man. I will go still Brock Purdy there. Justin says mandatory Montgomery or Chandler. It's mandatory. They play Montgomery. K-Tel again, already answered. I think all of these, unless these are different leagues. It's Denver. It's Garrett Wilson. Richard says Wicks or Jackson Smith and Jigba. I'm going to go with Wicks. Happy holidays to you and the family. Ayuk or Rice. Give me Rice, Anthony. Same to you. RW Eglage, I don't know what that is. I think Hurts will bounce back. Yeah, again, top 10 quarterback this week in my estimation. Decisions between him and Purdy, it still hurts because, again, the rushing upside, the rushing TD potential. Downs, Wicks, Dobbs, or Thielen. Ooh, give me Wicks. David says Jones or mandatory Montgomery in we don't know what kind of league it is. Sutton or Ridley. I'm going to go Sutton. I think he scores. I think Montgomery scores, so give me Montgomery. Flacco or Howell? Flacco for me. Man, K-Tel, you got a lot of questions. Wilson, Wicks, or Chandler need 2. I'm going to go Wilson and Chandler. Brad says Avonta Smith or Hubbard. Hubbard for me. And last couple of questions coming in here. Richard, D. Wicks or Jackson Smith and Jigba. I think I said Wicks, and I'm still good with that. Christian, my man. Thank you, Jeremy. That's what I do every freaking NFL Sunday. I love talking football with you guys. Tewksbury, worried Saquon going to get stuffed by the Eagles. Yeah, exactly. I am. Matthew says Njoku, Ingram, or Ferguson. Man, all spectacular options. High potential to score each and every one of them. I like Njoku because of tunnel vision that Joe Flacco has from in Houston. Ranks inside the top 7, I believe, in fantasy points allowed to the tight end position. All right. I've been on here forever. I'm out of breath. I'm out of time. I got to cut a pod. Yes, I'm going to roll out a brand new pod called the Fade 5. That is going to be posted a little bit later today. All Christmas Day bets all the time. It's going to be me. It may only be like 20 minutes long, but I just want to get out and serve the people because I am a man of the people. Also, don't forget to watch live online, noon Eastern, Monday through Friday. We will be on the air live on Christmas Day at 11 a.m. Central Time on the Bally Sports RSNs and at Stadium. You can stream the show for free at watchstadium.com/live. Watchstadium.com/live, presented by BetMGM. So we'll have the NFL games broken down. We'll have some NBA picks. Huge NBA day, obviously, on Christmas, as it annually is. So check that out. Also, you can follow me on the X at Noisy Huevos, where I'm always trying to give it to you, on Instagram at Team Huevos, and subscribe to the Fade 5 podcast. I do it 3 days a week. Again, new episode coming later today. Wherever you're downloading, get your podcast, we have a YouTube channel as well, the Fade 5 podcast. Love you. Happy holidays to you and yours. Enjoy the celebration. Enjoy the libations. Enjoy the NFL action. I even got some action sprinkled in some college basketball today, the Diamond Head Classic in Hawaii. Let's make some money. Let's hope Santa does us well and doesn't put coal in our stocking. Have a great holiday. Until next time, adios! amigos!